In 2015, the Under Armour Curry 1 was all the rage. They had the perfect rollout in New York City for All-Star Weekend.
Cause onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story.
Jamie Foxx, this was actually poetic because Steph was quite literally right at the beginning of his legend arc. You see, up until this point, Steph was the baby-faced assassin. He was becoming the league's most unguardable player. But playoff success with the Warriors? Not quite yet. Golden State had only one first-round playoff victory under their belts, a 2013 opening round upset against the 3-seed Nuggets. In 2014, they got knocked out in the first round by the Clippers, and it felt like a step backwards. But 2015 would prove to be a different story. These Warriors weren't going to wait their turn to become champions much longer, and their rise directly coincided with the rise of Steph Curry, both on and off the court. Under Armour's footwear sales nearly doubled in some quarters. By 2016, analysts were projecting Curry would overtake LeBron James as the active player with the best-selling signature sneaker in America. People were ditching their Nikes for a brand once known for football undershirts. Brand that was being redefined by a guy who was changing the game of basketball in his own right. Fast forward 10 years later, and Steph is rocking Nike Kobe 6s in warm-ups.
I'm free agent. I'm out here at new beginnings.
The Curry Under Armour partnership is done, seemingly out of nowhere, just like that. And that naturally begs the question, what went wrong? And now that Steph's departure puts the nail in the coffin of Under Armour's basketball department, will Curry continue to elevate his brand with another sneaker company, or do you think he'll remain independent? All that and more. This is Topic Tackle. Let's go. Alright, let's pause for a quick shout out to Rakuten, who is not sponsoring this video by the way. They're just the #1 option for cashback with online shopping. I use Rakuten whether it's through the website or the app every time I shop online, and I have a link in the description down below. Now, I'm completely transparent. This is an affiliate link. I will get credit if you go to this link, but most importantly, you will get credit because when you spend $30, you'll get $30 back, and whatever store that you're shopping at, depending on the cash back that they're giving right now, you'll get that percentage back as well. It's legit. I've used this for years. Think about it like this. Support my channel through the link by buying whatever you want online. That's a pretty good deal, right? Let's get back to the video. Now that's got to be the most fitting ad read because you may want to cop those UA Curry sneakers while you can, so make sure you use Rakuten before they become collectibles. And heck, you think after all the crazy news around the NBA over the past year that nothing would surprise me anymore, but admittedly, this Curry news did. Because in 2020, Steph Curry became to Under Armour what Michael Jordan is to Nike, receiving his own signature brand under the larger umbrella of the company as a subsidiary. The announcement kick-started their initiative to change the game for good. And it was such a big deal at the time that I made a video on it that'll be linked in the description. In 2023, Under Armour and Curry announced a new long-term deal that not only made Steph the president of Curry brand, but also included stock and other performance-based awards and incentives that had the potential of making this a lifetime deal. But despite all the deals that were done, sales were low, and while I didn't want this to be the outcome, I should have seen it coming. Nick Engvall is an OG in the footwear industry when it comes to writing and consulting. 20 plus years of experience with the biggest brands in the industry. You name a brand, he's probably contributed to them. And when the news broke that Curry was splitting from UA, he took to his Sneaker History Substack and published a story entitled "The Biggest Failure in a Century of Sneakers." The full story will be linked in the description because it's a solid read, and he starts it off with the following. "I've watched brands rise and fall, seen billion-dollar deals get made, and collected shoes nobody else cared about. We've seen plenty of failures, bad designs, worse marketing, athletes who couldn't move product. But we've never seen anything quite like this. A brand taking the greatest shooter who ever lived and somehow making him uncool. Ouch." And while there are financial reasons why this didn't work that we'll get into, the main reason why financial problems even begun with the Curry line can be summed up in a sentence. UA never understood how to market to basketball sneaker culture. Here's a fact. Under Armour is a quality brand with quality products. I'm wearing the quarter zip right now for a reason, people, and I've probably had this quarter zip for, I don't know, like over 10 years. It's practically in the same condition as it was when I bought it. You can go to your local UA outlet store and buy 2 workout shirts for the price of one. Black Friday is coming up, and chances are you can still be working out in those same shirts a decade from now. Product quality has never been the problem at Under Armour. The problem is exactly what Engvall highlights in his story. The company kept talking about performance DNA and product innovation while completely missing that young people don't buy basketball shoes to play basketball. They buy them to look good, to flex, to participate in culture. Under Armour was stuck in its apparel roots, having a conversation about moisture-wicking technology while everyone else was talking about hoops culture and identifying with the lifestyle. And what's even more sad is that it didn't have to be this way at UA, because the brand was onto something with their early basketball sneaker designs, the Micro G and Anatomics models that Brandon Jennings rocked. Wild for the early to mid 2010s, perfect for today, which embraces the retro 2000s trends. And UA abandoned these early innovations for what exactly? The Curry 2 Low Chef that became the most roasted sneaker in internet history for looking like the typical dad or nursing shoe. To add on, not only did UA make Curry, someone with a history of ankle injuries, a low top shoe, but Steph actually had to be talked out of wearing them before Game 4 of the 2016 Finals by Warriors GM Bob Myers due to concerns about the shoes being low cut and Steph's ankle injury history. That's not good, people. And these were unnecessary, unforced errors in design and marketing that eventually steered people away from Curry's signature line at UA. What they didn't have was taste. They didn't have cultural literacy. They didn't have the confidence to let Curry be Curry. This partnership should have changed the game. Instead, it'll go down as arguably the biggest missed opportunity in sneaker history, a cautionary tale about what happens when you sign a generational talent but lack the vision, or more likely listening ability, to build something worthy of their greatness. The irony is crushing. Under Armour's slogan is "Protect this house." They had Steph Curry, the perfect foundation for an empire, and they couldn't even protect that. Because Stephen Curry changed basketball forever. It's a shame Under Armour couldn't change with him. UA made an attempt, at least, to appease Curry and appeal to culture in 2020 when they launched Curry Brand as a subsidiary with the slogan "Change the Game for Good." But unfortunately, any market share they had gained 5 years prior had evaporated by then, and eventually, the money just didn't make sense anymore. And thus, we arrive at the current day. According to The Athletic, when Steph signed his long-term extension with Under Armour as president of Curry Brand in 2023, the 11-time NBA All-Star was awarded 8.8 million common shares as part of the agreement, valued at $75 million at the time, along with other performance-based awards and incentives. Sounds good, right? Well, the company's stock has dropped 47.3% over the past year, and its stock is trading near its 52-week low of $4.17. In August, the company announced that its projected revenue in the first quarter of the 2026 fiscal year dropped 4%. Steph lost out on a lot of potential earnings. That part is clear. But the two sides still split amicably, according to UA's press release, and the Curry 13, Steph's final shoe with Under Armour, will still release in 2026 with additional colorways and apparel collections available through October 2026. When Nico Harrison and Nike didn't pronounce his name right, UA swooped in and gave Steph a chance to be the face of their brand. Despite not properly marketing him, Steph outgrew the UA brand into his own. Now, he's free to choose where to take Curry Brand with full rights to his logo. So now that Steph's departure pretty much puts the nail in the coffin of Under Armour's basketball department, will Curry continue to elevate his brand with another sneaker company, or do you think he'll remain independent? Now, I'll continue to follow this story, and we'll keep y'all updated right here on Topic Tackle. And in the meantime, feel free to stick around and check out the Steph Curry mistake that cost Nike millions. And I'll be back with another episode of Topic Tackle coming soon. As always, stay solid, people.